Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video for you. Today is going to be just a quick first impressions on a new Kershaw for this year. The only Kershaw that I'm super interested in, or I don't know, even mildly interested in. What we have here is the Kershaw Fedralist. Micarta, made in the USA. Notice the blade steel here is notable, CPM 154, very nice blade steel. What I will say about this upon initial inspection is it's a little stiffer than I had hoped. And I may play around with it, but most of these double detent knives, they're designed to sort of, kind of have a snappy closure. And this one definitely does not. So what my plan is to use this, carry it a little bit, see how it goes over, a little bit of time, and then adjust this pivot, clean it out, lubricate it, and see if that makes changes. Now, the big question is going to be, so as it is now, it's on phosphor bronze washers. You can see those in there. But the question is, will this, what would you say? Do I prefer it more where as it is now, where the action is a little stiff and it acts a little bit more like a traditional slip joint? As it is now, I'm pretty confident doing this and just closing it. If it was the other way, there is a half stop here, which is a different thing as well. But if this was just kind of smooth other than when it hits the detent, that might be a different consideration. So that's my plan for how I'm going to review this. Before we get into any of that though, I should also kind of give you some of the details. So you see the clip point blade, the nail nick here, very, very thin blade stock. This is going to slice like crazy, really nice for food prep. Size on this is 7 9/16 overall, so a little over 7.5 inches, 3 1/4 inches on the blade, 4 5/16 closed. 3.5 inches of grip area, which is lots even for my large hand, so no complaint whatsoever about that. Now the big thing here is 2.1 ounces, which is absolutely fantastic. Let me also add the other thing that's pretty interesting is this design. I do find this a very attractive knife. Really, there's sort of this nice modern traditional conglomeration happening here. I will say this. I would like to see, if someone from Kershaw is watching, I think this is going to be probably the more popular Kershaw for the year. This would be really good in a backlock, or, it kind of, it has that buck 110 look to it. So adding a backlock or some kind of locking mechanism, a frame lock is a little plain Jane to you've tried to do something a little bit special here. So a liner lock would be, mediocre at best, but putting a back lock on this kind of might tie into the overall sort of traditional design and still keep that theme going. Anyway, as it stands, it functions as a slip joint. You can see that I can comfortably, close this. It stops right there. There's no back spring, of course. I guess the other option would be, the other compelling thought would be, what if this was done with a back spring? I think that could also be a very legitimate choice. Kershaw has opted to go for the double detent. I suspect that budget-wise, that's a pretty easy thing to manage, and that probably has a lot to do with why it's done that way. Nonetheless, my initial reaction to this was, first of all, surprise, because other double detent knives that I've handled have been a little smoother to open and close. I am very impressed with the fit and finish, with the feel in hand, with the materials. Nothing too disappointing there. It's certainly not the knife that I would want for any kind of hard use or outdoor use or anything like that. But as a sort of lightweight, light duty EDC type of knife, I think it would probably be fine. Other than you just got to keep in mind it's non-locking, so there's a little extra care to be taken there. So probably not for a beginner, but someone who's used to slip joints and enjoys them is probably going to be fine. Let's see, anything I'm forgetting? The micarta is really well done. I wanted to mention that as well. So initial thoughts, yeah, not a bad choice from Kershaw. There are a couple little things that perhaps I would kind of prefer, but None of those things are deal breakers for me. I think overall, if you really like this and you know what it is, okay, if you like this design and you know that it's a double detent functioning slip joint, and you still want it, I don't think, I would go ahead and buy it. There's nothing here that stands out to me and says, oh, you should avoid this knife. All right, that's my initial thoughts. As I said, I'm going to spend some time with it like this. I'm going to give it a week or two without doing anything to the pivot, and then I'm going to then I'm going to play with it and see if I can change the way the action is, and then we can discuss which one I prefer after that in the full review. All right, thanks a lot for watching. Go to White Mountain Knives. I think they still have some of these in stock, or at least they did the other day when I checked. You can save yourself 10% using my discount code SHARPSTUFF. Again, I'll thank you for watching, and we will talk to you soon.